Good evening. Welcome to Game 1, NAHA State Championship game. Bishop Gorman playing at City National Arena, home of Faith Lutheran. Gorman in white, listed as the home team here at the rink. And the Faith Lutheran Crusaders in black on the left side on the visitor bench. This will be best of 3, game 1 here at City National. Tomorrow night, second game at the Las Vegas Ice Center. And as needed, if needed, a third and final matchup Monday evening. All games will be broadcast here. getting ready to kick off the first period. Game will be 3 15-minute periods for the state championship game. Faircloth kicking it off for game one. Starting lineup for Gorman: Tritton, Johnson, Baldy, Trent, Fish. Fish in for the faceoff. Puck comes out in favor of Gorman. Johnson tries to wire it down, gives a hit in the process. Baldy takes a hit while shoveling it down into Crusader territory. Tritton goes in for a hit, picked up by Fish in the corner. Luke's at the goal line, and Faith brings along the near wall, picked up by Baldy and wired back down low. Sulik sends it around the boards for Faith. Picked up by the winger. Comes out. Godino stuck along the ref. Godino gives a hit. That comes out to Baldy. Baldy sends it in. Off a stick and off the steal. For a stoppage of play. Face-off coming up in the neutral zone. Jennings, Godino, Creel, Luong, and Rubino. Puck comes out. Picked up by Jennings. Jennings feeds it back down low to Creel. Creel chips off the board. Shot. Short side. Goal! And Gorman takes an early lead. With a shot from Jennings. With a pass off the boards from Creel. Same lineup for Gorman. Godino in for the faceoff. Chips it along the near wall. Faith sends it around the boards. Picked up by Faircloth. Shovels it up to the far corner. Luong chips it back the other way to Rubino. Just out of reach. Shot off the blocker. Goes wide. Clears the zone. Creel stays on the press. Blue line pass by Faith. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Godino sends it across to Creel. Creel wires it in. Godino couldn't get there in time, and Faircloth, sorry. And Faith brings it in the zone. Godino to the near corner. Posner chips it across. Sorry, Mesa comes out to Westwood. Westwood on the forecheck. Makes the zone. Got Larson on the forecheck with him. Shot off a stick and up and into the netting for a stoppage of play. Face-off coming up in Faith Lutheran territory. Mesa, Westwood, Posner, Larson, and Davis. Davis in for the face-off. Goes out in favor of Faith. Picked up by Larson in the corner at the blue line. Mesa able to fish that one out, sends it down low. Mesa looking for space, sends it back to the point. Larson walks it up, sends it down low to Westwood. Westwood's got Davis out front. Westwood brings it through at the face-off dot. Backhand shot goes wide. Picked up by Larson in the near corner. Posner sends it down low. Chipped by Westwood. Davis chips it back to Westwood in the corner. Back to Davis. Bouncing puck couldn't connect. And Posner sends it across blue line. Chipped up and into the Crusader bench. 12:36 remaining in the first period. Gorman with an early lead, 1-0. Kerr in for the faceoff, wins it back to the blue line. Trent takes a hit at the blue line. 2-on-1 the other way. Baldy picks that one up at the blue line, chips it across. Crusaders send it around the boards. Gales send it around. Trent, Baldy. Stretch pass trying to hit Bonifazio at the Faith blue line. And that gets picked up by the Crusaders and brought back into Gorman territory. Kerr in for a hit along the near wall to the neutral zone. Kerr's got Fitzy with him. Dingles through, shot just off the right post. Comes out to Baldy. Baldy gives a hit, tries to get a shot off. Bonifazio comes in, chips it to Kerr, sends it down low. Gorman will go for a partial change. Tritton battles, keeps it in the zone. Fitzy sends it across. And it clears. And that will not be an icing. Rubino scoops it up to the goal line. Luong chips it across. Faith picks it up at their blue line, chips it back out. Rubino's got some space, takes a hit, makes his own. No offsides. Rubino chips it across, takes a hit on the far wall. Fish with a stick lift, sends it up to Johnson, shot, save. And we have a penalty coming up. Johnson in the slot by himself with a shot and a save. Looks like it was off the back of the goaltender's leg, as number 7 will head to the box for the Crusaders. Gorman power play unit comes out. Pass comes out to Trent. Trent looking for some space, high in the slot, near wall. Godino walks it up, tipped, loose up front, and finished off. And it's Jennings with a second goal. Jennings posted out front. He's able to tip in the loose puck in the crease for a power play goal. Gorman 2-0. .52 remaining in the first. Gorman with a 2-0 lead. Godino wins out and back to Posner. Feeds it out to Larison, makes the line, dumps it in. Jennings working in the near corner. Creel working up high. He's able to pick that up, drops it back to Posner. Posner sends it back down low, picked up by Faith. Chipped across off the glove of Posner. And I believe they're going to say a hand pass. And this one's going to come all the way back into Gorman's D zone. Or not. Face off just outside Gorman's D zone. Godino in for the face off. Puck loose at the feet of Gorman players. Picked up by Larison to Posner. Out to Godino near wall. He shovels it in low. Dangles through. Walks it up. Shot broken up. And Faith recovers. Picks it back the other way. Posner keeps it in play. Creel takes a hit along the near wall. And Faith looks to bring it out on the far side. Jennings comes in with a hit. Shoves him off the puck. Shoveled in. Gorman will have to tag up. As Creel heads to the bench for a change. Godino stays in, working up high. Westwood forced pass out wide, picked up by Davis. Davis sends it out to Baldy. Trent. Pass tipped off by Davis. Fed back through to Mesa. Mesa chips it across. Davis brings it in the zone. He's got Westwood with him. Dangles through, shovels it in, and covered by the goaltender. Face-off coming up in the Crusaders' D zone. Davis in for the puck drop. Puck comes out. Trent opts it out. Near side. Far wall. That gets chipped up off the gloves of Trent, still in play. And Gorman will regroup back behind the goal line. Trent's got a man on him. Checked off his stick. Mesa comes in with a hit, separates him. Davis comes in, gives a hit as well. Westwood dangles through. Gorman comes away with the puck in the neutral zone. Trent on the forecheck with Mesa. Westwood, shot, glove save, Faith. Glove save by Sulik for the Crusaders. Gorman wins that one back. Face off by Kerr. Shot from Luong goes wide of the net. Faith looking to bring it out on the near wall. Kept in by Fitzy. Through the slot. Shovels down low. Bonifazio shot off the pads. Save. Crusaders back out to Luong at the blue line. Shot left of the net. Going to get picked up by the Crusaders in the near corner. Crusaders have an opportunity, comes in. Rubino shoves him off the puck. Crusaders recover. Poke checked off by Bonifazio. Rubino sends it out to the far corner. Luong's gonna get there for Gorman. Sends it off the board, scooped up by Faith at the hash marks. Faith dangles through. Near corner. Picked up by Rubino. Chips it off the boards to Fitzy. Fitzy on the forecheck. Gorman goes in for a change. Fish and Tritton come in for your forwards at Larison and Posner. Puck comes out just out of reach of Posner, and Faith has an opportunity. Tritton comes in with a hit as they send it in, and that will be an icing. And will come on back into the Crusaders D zone. Tritton, Fish, Johnson, Posner, and Larison. Faceout comes out in favor of Faith. Through the neutral zone, shovel it in, no icing. Posner sends it around the far side, out to Johnson, chips it off the glass, through the neutral zone, bouncing puck, Fish on the forecheck. Tritton chips it in, still in the zone. Johnson looking to dangle through, poke checked off a stick, and Faith lobs it out the other way. Faircloth shovels it out near side. Faith comes away with it. It's got a man coming through the center. Back out to the point. Down low, picked up by Gorman. Johnson sends it out to Tritton. Shovels it in. Johnson picks it up back behind the net. Tries shoveling it back down to cycle through. Faith picks it up, lobs it through the neutral zone. Baldy fields that one. Faith has an opportunity to bring it in the zone. Poke checked off by Baldy. Sent around the boards. Fish drops back to Trent. Through the neutral zone. Dangles through. Reverses back. Sends it down low off a stick. Couldn't get far enough down to Creel. Creel recovers at the near wall. Near corner. Jennings feeds it across through the crease. No one there. Godino picks it up. Clears the zone. And Gorman has to tag up. Jennings battles through at the blue line. Bad pass comes out to Creel. Creel shot. Goal. And Gorman makes it a 3-0 game. It's 3-0, 6:20 remaining in the first period. Westwood, Davis, Mesa, Rubino, and Luong. Davis in for the faceoff. Faith comes away with that one. Sends it down low into Gorman territory. Luong on the back check, picks it up. Off the boards, Westwood off a stick, a bad bounce. And clears into the neutral zone. Luong working up high in the neutral zone. Wired back down off the skate of Rubino. Davis comes in to support with a stick lift. Pass broken up. Rubino sends it to Davis. Davis to Westwood at the hash marks. Pass out to Mesa. Chips it to himself. Bad bounce off the boards, and Faith brings it back the other way. Puck sent out into the far corner, picked up by Luong. Cleared into the neutral zone. Tipped in by Faith. He'll go for a change. Godino on the assist on Creel goal. Stretch pass out to Westwood, chips it across. Faith looking for a passing option. Westwood stays in, force them to send to the near side. They send it down low into Gorman territory. Rubino on the back check with Luong. Sends it around the boards. Chips it up. Westwood on the forecheck. He's got Fish in tow. Sorry, Kerr. Kerr's got Fitzy posted out front and tries stuffing it short side. Still loose, but whistle blown as Sulik covers at the post. Kerr in for the face-off. Faith wins it, sends it around the boards to the near side. Posner pinches up, keeps it pinned in. Fitzy in the far corner. He's got Kerr out front, winding up for a one-timer. And Faith clears. Posner wires it back down low. Sent around the boards. Comes out to Posner, kicks it back in. And cleared by the Crusaders. Layerson pass out to the far side. Fitzy dangles through, dodges a hit. Fitzy takes a hit on the follow-up, and that will be probably a tripping call is what they're going to say. And Gorman's going to go on another power play. Second power play unit out for Gorman as number 10 makes his way to the box. Davis, Fish, Creel, Fitzy, and Layerson, one back. Layerson, Fitzy behind the slot. Shot. Comes out loose, near side. Fitzy working in the near corner. Davis posted at the crease. Pass out to Fish. Shot off his shin and comes out to the neutral zone. Fish dangles through. Offsides is what they're going to call. Pick back up. And Creel brings it in the zone. Still in play. Sent down low off the pads of Sulik. And they clear. Gorman will have to regroup back in their D zone. Layerson gets there for Gorman. Loose puck in the slot. Poke check by Creel. Sends it out to Fitzy. Fitzy tripped again. Fish couldn't get the pass off, and we are looking at a 5-on-3 coming up in favor of Gorman on another tripping call. Five-on-3 coming up. Jennings, Godino, Westwood, Johnson, and Trent. Puck comes out in favor of Faith, looking to clear it along the near side. Johnson keeps it in. Johnson sends it to the far side. Westwood high in the slot. Trent back to Westwood, far side. Johnson shot off the pads. Westwood keeps that one in play. 3 minutes left in the first period. Gorman with a 3-0 lead. Then back down low. Off the stick, recovered by Johnson, sends it left of the net. Westwood sends it across the blue line to Trent. Trent walks it up in the slot, far side. Johnson, Trent, shot, bouncing puck in the neutral zone. Sorry, in the slot there. Gorman maintains possession, dropped back by Jennings, comes out to Trent. Trent sends it to Johnson, couldn't connect on a shot. Westwood, Godino. Shot off the blocker, glove down by Jennings, and they're going to blow this one dead. Hand pass, and face-off will come out into the neutral zone. Puck comes out in favor of Gorman. Godino sends it to Johnson on the near side. Walks it in. Trent, top of the circle, out to Godino. Shot Comes out to Johnson, couldn't connect on a shot. 5-on-4 now was the first penalty cleared. Loose. Out to Jennings. Jennings, 2 goals already in the game. Even strength and a power play goal early on. Shot broken up by Crusader defenseman. And Gorman dangles through. Godino maintains possession. Jennings shot off the face mask. Loose out front in the crease, and Gorman couldn't clear into the net. Crusaders able to prevent shots right out front the house. Comes out to Johnson. Johnson sends it to Trent. Couldn't get a shot off and is going to circle around. He's got Godino on the blue line as we are back to 5-on-5. Trent shot off the post. Still loose. Crusaders pick it up in the far corner, chip it around. 2-on-1 the other way. Godino, lone player for Gorman. Shot off the pad, save. Faircloth. Godino brings it out along the near wall. He's got Jennings with him, as well as Westwood. Westwood brings it in the zone, walks it up, shot. Goes up and over, comes out in favor of Faith Lutheran. Faith Lutheran has an opportunity the other way. Poke check by Rubino. And Luong gets the clear, sends it to Godino, still on the ice from the power play. Dangles through and gets cleared back out of the neutral zone. Gorman will regroup with Bonifazio, walks it in, and they're going to call that one offsides. 30 seconds left in the first. Gorman with a 3-0 lead. Face-off coming up in the neutral zone. Fitzy, Bonifazio, Kerr, Rubino, and Luong. Kerr in for the face-off for Gorman. Wins it out to Bonifazio on the far side, brings it in the zone, chipped off his stick. And Faith has an opportunity the other way, closed off by Rubino. Battles through, makes the zone, walks it up, feeds it across, and Bonifazio couldn't get a shot off. Kerr chips it down low, picked up by Faith. Faith brings it through, and they're going to blow the whistle here. Face-off coming up just outside Crusader D-zone. About 2 seconds left in the first. Kerr wins it back, Rubino. And that'll wrap up the first. All right, that'll wrap up the first. Shots on goal coming out of the first period. 18 for Gorman, 1 for Faith. As the Crusaders look to stage a comeback in the second period. All right, kicking off the second period. My understanding they will not have an ice cut between the second and third. Johnson, Fish, Tritton, Posner and Larison. Puck comes out in favor of Faith. Faith circles outside their blue line. Picked up by Larison in Gorman's D zone. Chips it off. That'll have a little too much on it, and that will be an icing. Puck comes out in favor of Faith, tries to chip through the crease, and diving save by Faircloth. Shot off the faceoff, blocked, still loose outside. Faith recovers, back behind the goal line. Fish comes into support, sends it out to the far corner. Tritton chips it up high. Picked up by the blue line, sent down low, fed across, and save. Gorman, and penalty coming up on Gorman, as they will go on the power play. Sorry, the penalty kill. Fish heading to the box. Crusaders on the power play. Dino, Creel, Baldy, and Trent. Puck comes out in favor of Gorman. Cleared by Trent off the faceoff. Zulik holds it down as Faith couldn't connect it on the pass. Comes through to Baldy again. Baldy wires it down the other way. Pass back behind the goal line. Creel working up high. Comes away with it. He's got Godino. Offs to bring it around the short side. Shot. Loose in the crease. Poke checked out by the goaltender. And Faith brings it through the neutral zone into Gorman territory. Drops back. Comes out to Godino. Godino wires it down. No icing as we are on the penalty kill. And settled back behind the net by Sulik. Jennings, Rubino, Trent, and Fitzy in for Gorman's PK unit. Trent's going to take his time on this one and wires it up and over. .56 seconds remaining on the Crusaders power play. Picked up by Jennings. Jennings brings it through, chips it up to himself off the wall, pressed off the puck. Pass out to the far side, sent across. Crusaders bring it to the zone, comes out to Fitzy, chips it across off the skate, or off the leg of the referee. And Jennings will wire just left of the net. Luong pinches up. Poke checked off the stick. Still battling in the corner, comes away with it. Sends it out to Rubino, shot off the blocker. Mesa working in the corner, sends it around, picked up by the defenseman. And opts to bring it out on the far side. Mesa ties him up, coming back. Picked up by Rubino at the blue line. Kicked up by Gudino. Gudino and Mesa on the forecheck. Gudino shot off the blocker and over the net. Gorman back to full strength. Kept in by Rubino. Trying to feed it up to Mesa, and it went off the stick. Rubino takes a hit in the corner. And they're going to call penalty. Correction, no penalty, 5-on-5. Face-off coming up in Crusaders D-zone. Westwood, Davis, Mesa, Larison, and Posner. Comes out in favor of Faith. Faith has an opportunity to bring it through. Lost control in the neutral zone. Faith opts to lob it in. Mesa on the back check with a stick lift. Sent down low, covered by Faircloth. 11:41 remaining in the second period. Fresh legs out for the forwards. Kerr, Bonifazio, and Fitzy, but comes out in favor of Gorman. Larison gets tied up in the corner, brings it back behind the net. Off the glass, out to Fitzy, kicks it up to himself. He's got a Bonifazio at the blue line, walks it in. Kerr out front, trying to tip it, goes wide, fed back through, and picked up by Crusaders, fed back down low by Baldy. Bonifazio shot stuffed, comes out to the near wall. Larison gets tried up, loose. And Crusaders send her on the boards. Not enough for an icing. Baldy will pick that up in neutral zone. Out to Larison. Wires it in on net. And that'll be covered for a stoppage of play. 10:57 remaining in the second period. Fish in for the face-off. Drops it back out. Johnson feeds it out. Sorry, Trent feeds it to Johnson. Comes out of Trenton, shot, loops out front, goes wide off the pads. Faith with opportunity the other way off a stick. No icing on this one. Trent there for Gorman. Gets there first. Tied up and broken out wide with a deflection. Bouncing puck to the neutral zone. Wired back the other way, and Faith will have to tag up. Baldy chips it up to Johnson, shovels it up, maintains possession, walks it in, feeds it through the crease, goal! Johnson. Correction, Johnson with the goal, went out the back of the goalie's leg and knocked it in. Johnson makes it a 4-0 game. Jennings drops it back to Rubino. Rubino walks it in, brings it out front, tries to shovel it in on the short side, off the side of the net. Puck comes out into the near corner. Creel comes in with a huge hit. Puck comes out, long shot, loose out front into the slot, and penalty coming up. Be a tripping call, and Jennings gonna head to the box. Crusaders will head to the power play. Rubino, Luong, Creel, and Godino. On the PK unit for Gorman, Godino in for the face-off, comes out in favor of the Crusaders. Blue line pass, near side, walked up, high in the slot. And goal for Faith. Power play goal. Puck squeezed by just at the edge of the crease, and it gets tipped in and brings the Gorman lead down to 3. Score of 4-1 with 9:42 remaining in the second period. Face-off coming up center ice. Mesa, Westwood, Posner, Davis, and Larison. Davison for the face-off. Wins it back. Larison walks it up, sends it down low. Scooped up at the blue line and wired back the other direction. Bouncing puck on net. Faircloth will dump that one out to Posner. He's got a man on him. Picked up by Crusaders. And pass intercepted by Westwood. Sends it out to Posner on the far corner. Off the stick of Mesa. No icing. Through the crease. Tip. Loose out front. Davis comes in, couldn't get a shot, a bouncing puck. 2-on-1 the other way, back checking Westwood. Pass broken up by Posner. Westwood drops it back to Davis. Davis brings it in the zone. Drops it back to Mesa. Couldn't get a shot off. Pass by Crusaders, picked off by Mesa. Mesa brings it back in. He's got Westwood out front. Near corner. Cycles back around. Sends it around the boards. Baldy working in the far corner. His pass off a skate. Crusaders send it off the boards. Comes out to Larison. Stretch pass out to Davis. Picked up on the deflection by the Crusaders. Crusaders bring it in. Comes out to Davis again. Davis sends it out to Bonifazio in the neutral zone, who sends it down low. Gorman goes in for a change. Sent around the boards. Out of reach of Baldy. Faith has an opportunity the other way. Baldy on the back check. Shot. Glove save. Faircloth. Apologies. Forgot to pull the power play off there. That was 5-on-5, but we will go back on the power play. Baldy's going to head to the box for Gorman, and Gorman will be down a man. Trent, Godino, Creel, and Posner in for Gorman PK unit. Godino in for the face-off. Faith sends it back out to the point. Blue line pass. Couldn't field it. And Creel sends it out to Godino. Godino brings it into the zone. He's going to walk it around. Cycles it back off the skate of the referee. Creel couldn't get there. Creel stays up high as the Crusaders bring it down to the far side. Crusaders bring it into the Gorman D zone. Chipped it back, still in play. Pass broken up by Creel, still in the Gorman zone. Trent walks it through into the neutral zone. He's got Creel with him. Trent dangles through. Gorman gets a change in. Trent pins along the boards. Crusaders pick it up back behind their net. Pass out to the near wall. Chipped through, picked up by Luong. Crusaders chip it off the boards, out high in the slot. Back out to the far wall, and penalty coming up. Looks like Luong gonna head to the box with his dance partner. Gonna stay 5-on-4. .641 remaining. Puck comes out. Favor of the Crusaders. Crusaders cycle back down low. Fish is pressed off the puck and cleared by Gorman. Picked up outside the crease. Stretch pass out, far wall, couldn't connect. And they're going to call that one an icing and bring it on back into Crusaders territory. .19 seconds left on the Crusaders power play. Creel, Godino, Trent, and Posner in to wrap up the kill. Creel in for the puck drop. Comes out in favor of Faith. Sends it around to the far corner. Far wall. Godino picks up the puck at the wall. He's got Creel out front. Fed through the crease. Sent wide by the Crusader defenseman. Pass off the wall. Denied by Posner. Pass denied by Godino. Gorman back to full strength. Pass sent down. No icing. Dresscloth sends that back behind the net. Posner sends it out to the near corner. Creel to Godino. Jennings off his skate. Still in play. No icing. Jennings on the forecheck. Creel comes into support. Jennings brings it out to Godino. Shot sent wide by the goaltender. Jennings with a huge hit. Godino dangles through. Out to Trent, high in the slot. Far wall, Trent walks it up. Shot, goal. And Trent walks it in to give Gorman a 4-goal lead. .509 remaining in the second period. Score 5-1 in favor of Gales. Fish in for the face-off. Johnson and Tritton with him. Rubino picks that one up, lobs it in, and the goaltender brushes it aside. Fish comes in with a hit. Johnson working back behind the goal line, sends it through. No one there for Gorman. They'll have to regroup in the neutral zone. Out to Larison at the blue line. Chips it across to Tritton, trying to connect. Broken up by Faith. Recovered by Larison. Takes a hit along the near boards. Clearing attempt denied by Larison. Larison walks it up, chips it across, trying to hit Rubino in motion. Gets tied up. Faith brings it through the other way. Dump pass. Snatched out of the air by Johnson. And that will be an icing on the Crusaders. And we'll come on back into Crusaders D zone. Long out the side of the box, as well as his dance partner. Face-off coming up in the Crusader D zone. Fish, Johnson, Tritton, Trent, and Baldy. Fish in for the puck drop for Gorman. Comes out, shot by Tritton, denied. As he got tied up, sent around the boards, near side. Trent chips it back down low to Tritton. Tritton back behind the goal line. Takes a hit, sends it out to Fish, who also takes a hit. Chip back, comes out to Tritton. Couldn't get a shot off. Dodges a hit and picked up by Faith in the slot and hook checked off his stick. Slashing is the call, and Gorman will go on the power play. Number 73 for the Crusaders will head to the box. Power play unit for Gorman will consist of Jennings, Godino, Johnson, Westwood, and Trent. Godino wins it back, bouncing puck to the blue line. Trent sends it out to Johnson. Godino at the blue line. Johnson working back his way back down low. Trent in the near corner. Westwood shot off the side of the net. Westwood sends back to Trent, high at the faceoff dot. Back up to Westwood down low. Trent shot goes just left of the net. Godino at the point. Sends it out to Trent. Trent feeds it back down low. Westwood. Short side. Shot off the side of the net. Shot off the face mask. And covered. Johnson battling out front. And the defenseman shoves Johnson onto his own goaltender, and he's going to head to the box. Number 18 will head to the box. And Gorman will have a 5-on-3 opportunity coming up. The second one so far in this game. Fitzy, Davis, Fish, Creel, and Larson. Fish in for the puck drop. Puck comes out in favor of Gorman. Out to Larson at the blue line. Chips it off the boards to Fitzy, near wall. Fitzy up high, Fish far side. Davis posted out front, Larson in the slot, down low. Back to Davis, shot off the mask. Davis in the bumper position, Fitzy sends it back up high to Larson. And Fitz couldn't connect on the one-timer. Out on the far wall. Fish walks it up, shot off the pads and cleared by the Crusaders. About 35 seconds left on the initial penalty. Larson with room to work with through the neutral zone. Makes it into Crusader territory. Sends it across, shot. Goes wide. Then back out to the far side and clears the zone. Gorman will have to try to squeeze in a change on the power play units. 14 seconds, remaining on the 5-on-3. Larson walks it in, face-off dot. Cycles back up high, Godino. Shot. And goes off a body into the far corner. 5-on-4. Gorman looking to maintain control. Jennings tries to chip it to himself. Faith sends it around the far side. It's going to have not enough to clear. Trent high in the slot at the blue line. Sends it on net, off a skate, goes wide, scooped up by Jennings. Jennings working at the point. Down low, shot, Fitzy, short side, save, goaltender. Fitzy recovers, feeds it back up to Trent. 8 seconds left. Pass off a body and cleared by the Crusaders, and they will be back to full strength. Westwood through the neutral zone. Westwood working in the far corner. Picked up by the Crusaders. Pass out to the far side. Luong forces him back into his own zone. Stays on the forecheck. Mesa flushes it out on the far side. Recovered back behind their own goal line. Godino comes in with a hit. And Gorman keeps it pinned in the zone. Comes out to Trent. At the blue line, chips it across. Luong feeds it across near wall. Godino, shot off a body, loose out front, and cleared by the Crusaders. Luong chips that one down, trying to pick it up. And Gorman clears it back the other way. Johnson drops it back to Kerr, out of reach. And chipped in Gorman's D zone, no icing. Rubino brings it along the near wall, trying to send it out to Johnson, makes it out to him, and that'll wrap up the second period. (36-8) shots on goal in favor of Gorman. Gorman with a 5-1 lead heading into the third. All right, kicking off the third period. As a reminder, this is a series best of 3. Game 2 will take place tomorrow at the Las Vegas Ice Center, 5:40 p.m. Pacific time. Looking to fill the house for that game. And that game will be broadcast live here on YouTube, free of charge. 15 minutes on the board. Fish, Tritton, Johnson, Layerson, and Posner. And to kick it off, puck comes out in favor of the Crusaders. Chipped through the neutral zone, fielded by Layerson at the blue line. And Tritton chips it down low. Gorman goes on the forecheck. Fish along the other side, force it. Johnson breaks up the pass behind the goal line. Comes out. Layerson couldn't send it back in. And Tritton on the back check. Hit as he was at the puck. Layerson comes in with a hit. And Gorman clears the other way. That will not have enough for an icing. Tritton working up high. Pass to the blue line. Kerr comes in and gives a hit. Walked in by the Crusaders. Sent down low. Faircloth couldn't get to that one. Sent around the boards by Trent. Bonifazio to Kerr. Tritton back out to Kerr. Drops it back to Bonifazio. Couldn't get the shot off. Shot off the glove of Faircloth. Sits at the goal line. Baldy gives a hit. Shot short side. Save. Faircloth. Sent around to the far side. Picked up by Fitzy. Fitzy and Bonifazio in the zone. Shot loose out front. Bonifazio tries stuffing it. Sent wide. Puck comes out. Opportunity for Faith. Gets hit off the puck. And Gorman brings it back the other way. Fitzy makes his own shot. Loose out front. Trent on the forecheck. Couldn't get to the right side where it came through. Tipped down by Creel. And Gorman walks it in. Trent with a goal earlier in the game. Shot loose out front. Follow-up shot sent wide. Luong looking to tie him up. Faith makes an opportunity, brings it in the zone. Gorman on the back check. Fed through. Luong, and we have a penalty coming up here. And it looks like Trent may be heading to the box for Gorman. And Gorman will go on the PK. .56 remaining in the third period. Gorman with a 5-1 lead. Gorman on the PK. Fish, Jennings, Posner, and Layerson for the Gorman penalty kill unit. Fish trying to clear off the faceoff, gets tied up. Set up high at the point. Crusaders bring it down low, cycle around, back up into the near point, far point. Down low, no one there. Posner wires it around the boards. And kept in play. Nope, they're going to have to walk that one back and tag up. Crusaders trying to pass to the blue line. Interrupted by Jennings. Bring it through, denied. Jennings chips it up to himself. Avoids a trip. Jennings and Godino. Jennings trying to drop it back. Picked up by Godino. Shot. Pad save. Stick save, actually. Jennings trying to hit Godino. Godino couldn't get a shot off. Jennings going to head back to the bench. Rubino at the blue line, forcing him back the other way. Creel with a poke check, couldn't connect. Baldy gets there for Gorman, wires it. It's off a skate, doesn't clear. Faith recovers, brings it back the other way. Shot off the pads. Fed through, comes out to the face-up dot, off the face mask, still in play. Bouncing puck in the front. Godino comes in with a hit. And Crusaders feed it back out to the point. Faircloth without a stick. Shot and swallowed up by Faircloth. 31 seconds left on the Gorman PK. as they send out the next unit. Kerr, Westwood, Larson, and Luong. Kerr in for the puck drop for Gorman. Pass broken up by Gorman. Kerr clears the other way. And Faith will have to regroup back in their goal line. Westwood working up high. Cycled around, no one there. Kerr picks it up in the corner. Kerr sends it out, no one there for Gorman. Westwood chips it in off the stick. Kerr comes in to break it up, bouncing puck in the near wall. Westwood, short side, off the shoulder. Fish comes in. Shot, save. Faircloth comes in with a save to close out the penalty kill. Gorman back to full strength. Face-off coming up in the Gorman D zone. Fish, Tritton, Johnson, Rubino, and Posner. Fish in for the face-off. Crusaders keep it in play. Johnson chips it out. Fish brings it through. Battles with the defenseman. Backhand shot off the pads, goes wide. And stoppage of play coming up here. And not sure what the whistle was for, but they're going to bring the face-off out here into the neutral zone, just outside Faith D zone. Fish wins it back. Gorman tries chipping it in. It gets picked up. Faith battling at their blue line. Brings it in the neutral zone. Couldn't chip it in. Johnson poke checks it the other way. And Crusaders regroup at their blue line. Puck sent down low. Not enough for an icing. Posner in the near corner. Chips it up. Tritton couldn't get it out. Shot tipped. Goes wide. Faith battling in the corner. Johnson, along the far wall, not the corner. Johnson winds up. He's going to lob it up off the steal for a stoppage of play. 9:35 remaining in the third. Face-off going to come on back into Gorman's D zone. Westwood, Davis, Mesa, Larson, and Baldy. Davison for the face-off. Gorman wins it back behind their net. Chipped off the boards, looking to hit Mesa, tipped. Davis on the forecheck, has got Mesa with him. Shot off the skate. Davis looking to feed, he's got Larson in motion. Davis battling back behind the board, back behind the net. Fed through Johnson. Westwood with a shot off the arm. Couldn't connect. Davis battling out front. Takes a hit. And the Crusaders bring it through. Poke checked off by Mesa. Should have been a tripping penalty there. Westwood on the forecheck. It's got Davis and Mesa. Mesa shot left of the net. Davis gives a hit at the pass. Baldy chips it up to himself. Goes on the forecheck. Wires it in. And that one gets swallowed up by the goaltender. Still in play. Cleared. And that will be an icing. And will come on back in the Crusaders D zone. 8:35 remaining in the third period. Shots on goal, 43-12. Trying to find out if they could find a smaller font here at City National. Fitzy in for the puck drop. Chipped out, Kerr, near wall. Maintains possession, sends it around the boards. Bonifazio breaks away, picks it up in the near corner, cycle back the opposite direction. Rubino goes into pinch, gives a huge hit along the near boards. Shot, save, cleared by Gorman. Loose out front, picked up by Fitzy. Fitzy dangles through, chips it up, denied in the neutral zone. Kerr gives a hit, bouncing puck comes out to Rubino. He's going to settle that one down, bring it back to Posner. Posner couldn't come away with it. Faith sends it across the goal line. Bouncing puck. Bonifazio breaks up the pass. Rubino battling back behind the goal line, loose at the feet. Hit along the boards, comes out in favor of Gorman. Kerr, Fitzy, far wall. He's got Bonifazio in motion with him. Brings it through the neutral zone. Shot goes out wide off the pads. This puck still in play, bouncing puck. Godino couldn't connect, 2-on-2 the other way. Godino on the back check. Dumps it in off the glove of Larison. And Posner feeds out to Bonifazio, back to Posner, chips it off the boards to Jennings. Shovels it across. And Larison has an opportunity to bring it in the zone. Dangles through, he's got Jennings with him. Loose at the feet. Cleared out through the neutral zone, picked up by Baldy. Sends back to Godino. Back out to Baldy. Near wall, brings it in the zone. Brushes off the defender. Shot. Loose out front. Creel. Follow-up shot. And blown dead. Puck loose behind the net. The goaltender with the initial save and was able to keep it out of the net. 6:40 remaining. Godino, Jennings, Creel, Baldy, and Larison. Puck comes out in favor of Faith. Faith one-on-one the other way. Larison on the back check. Pokes it out. Baldy working with Jennings back behind the goal line. Baldy chips around the boards into the far corner. Creel sends back out. Larison tries to chip it across. Baldy finishes it off, sends it through, chipped down low by Godino. No icing. Jennings comes in with a hit. He's got Creel posted out front. Out to Godino. Godino at the face-off dots. Cycles through, feeds it back up high, and pass broken up. And one-on-one the other way, Rubino with a poke check in the neutral zone. Jennings opts to walk it in. Follow-up shot off the pads. Makes his way in the neutral zone. Luong there for Gorman, ties him up. And Tritton sends it through, and penalty, or they're blowing it dead right outside the Crusader bench as Creel and a dance partner got tied up. Trent still in the box, serving at 2 and a 10. Gorman will go on the power play after the scuffle. Johnson, Davis, Westwood, Godino, Larison for the Gorman power play unit. 5:31. Try to correct the clock here. Pinned along the boards, Davis and Johnson. Shot, short side, comes out, favor of Gorman. Davis lobs it down, gloves it, sends it to Godino, shot. And goaltender comes up with a save along the short side. Try to correct the scoreboard here. Shots on net, 50-13 in favor of Gorman. Puck comes out in favor of Crusaders. Clearing attempt denied by Larison. Feeds it out to Davis. Davis, Johnson shovels it down left of the net. Chipped out and cleared by the Crusaders. Settled down by Faircloth, back behind the net. Larison leaves it for Westwood. Westwood through the neutral zone. Walks it in. He's got Davis with him on the far side. Walks it up. Shot wide. Davis comes in to support. Back behind the net. Davis feeds the point. Larison up high. Down low. Westwood. High to Larison. Shot tipped by Davis. Goes just wide of the net. Johnson is able to come away with the puck. Davis comes in to support. Feeds it back to Godino. Blue line pass. Larison. Back to Godino off his stick. Bad bounce, and he feeds it down low. Johnson. Westwood. Back to Johnson. Shot side of the net. And the Crusaders able to scoop a loose puck up and bring it back the other way. 2-on-2. Shuffled around Larison. Larison with a stick lift. Ties him up and comes away with it. Feeds it out to Davis. Loose out front and covered. Save Faircloth. Face off comes out in favor of Gorman. Posner. Does it across. Crusaders back to full strength. Shot off the post. Pass comes out. Baldy sends it. Goes wide of the net. Posner keeps it in the zone. Pitches it up. Sends it to Fitzy. He's got Bonifazio out front. Shot short side. Goal. Squeezes it in off the shoulder of off the helmet of the goaltender with 3:09 remaining. Gorman takes a 6-1 lead in the third period. Face off. Curran for the puck drop, picked up by Crusaders. Crusaders along the near wall, sent it across, intercepted by Fitzy. Crusaders recover in the far near corner. Puck comes out. Fitzy battling through with Luong. Get back out to the point. Shot. And swallowed up by Faircloth. 2:47 remaining in the third. Curran for the face-off. Crusaders win that one, sent out to the far wall. Bonifazio chips it off the boards. Not enough for an icing. It's going to get picked up by the Crusaders. Feed up to the near side. Bouncing puck out to Baldy. Baldy's going to wire it in off a leg. Baldy to Larison. Larison lobs it in off another body. Picked up at the hash marks by the Crusaders. Puck sent out to the far wall, picked up by Fish. Sends it to Mesa. At his feet, couldn't field that one. Dangle through, Fish. Got Mesa and Tritton with him. Loose at the feet. And Faith has a 2-on-1 opportunity the other way. And offsides. Face-off coming up in the neutral zone. Tritton, Fish, Mesa. Loose at the feet. Picked up by the Crusaders. Makes its way over to Rubino, who lobs it in. Sent around, comes out to Fish in the near corner. Pile up along the boards. Mesa walks it up, shot short side, and goaltender able to come up with a save. 1:33 remaining in the third period. Fish in for the faceoff. Mesa shot goes right of the net. Makes his way out to Rubino at the point. Sent down low. Fielded by the Crusaders. And they're going to lob it down the other way. Not enough for an icing. Posner gets there. Breaks up the opportunity. Gives a hit. And Rubino comes in. Chips it out to Tritton. Couldn't get enough on it. Shot off the pads. And Fish ties up the forward to prevent the goal in the slot. Minute 9 remaining in the third. Shots on goal, 53-17 in favor of the Gales. D-zone draw for Gorman, Godino, Jennings, Larison, Luong, and Creel. Puck comes out in favor of the Crusaders. Jennings picks that one up and shovels it down to the neutral zone. Picked up actually at the blue line, still in play. Shot, loose up front, cleared by Gorman at the goal line. Opportunity broken up by Godino. And Godino brings it back the other way through the neutral zone. Couldn't get the shot off. 41 seconds left in the third. Feeds it through. Creel gives a hit. Jennings comes in to support. Picked up at the goal line. And cleared by the Crusaders. 25 seconds left. Larison out to Luong, to Godino. Sends it out. Creel trying to pick up the loose puck. Godino takes a hit at the wall. Five seconds left in the third, and that'll wrap it up for the game. Game 1 in the books for Gorman. Final score, 6-1. Shots on goal, 53-16. 53-19 in favor of Gorman. 5:40 tomorrow will be game number 2. And if Gorman comes away with a win, they will punch their ticket to nationals. Game tomorrow will take place at the Las Vegas Ice Center. Hope to see everyone there for those who can make it. And as mentioned before, if not, the game will be here on this channel. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.